Hey there guys, Fave here, and throughout the years on Roblox, there's been many ways that people have messed up Roblox, or tried to ruin Roblox, or destroy it, with many different methods. But what if I told you that one of these ways to severely mess up Roblox was actually built into Roblox and was a feature that if just used the wrong way, it would absolutely kill it. Now what am I talking about here today? Well, that would be today's challenge. Today's challenge is, if you've ever been in class before, smash that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell and you won't get hacked today. So, let's talk about bytecode. Now, what is bytecode? Now, initially you might think bytecode is something like you bite into a piece of food and then there's a code inside of what you bit. Because, you know, those Roblox cafes and people roleplay really hard with a list of phrases they paste in. Because we love how pixels taste, virtual food. But besides me making jokes about Roblox cafes and oh, by the way, my voice might sound a little off. That's because I had a long weekend. I didn't even post all weekend. So you guys know, I had a long weekend, okay? Just let it be. Anyways, and RIP to my redvalk. So, bytecode. A quick Google says bytecode is program code that has been compiled from source code into low-level code designed for a software interpreter. It may be executed by a virtual machine or further compiled into machine code, which is recognized by the processor. All bytecode really is a type of code. And what is coding? Well, what is scripting? Every Roblox game, from Adopt Me all the way down to Billy's Obby, has scripting in it. There's different levels of scripting depending on the games. I'm sure Bloxburg has tens of thousands of lines of scripting, and bytecode was a feature within Lua, which is the language that Roblox uses, that could really mess up Roblox. Now, how could it really mess up Roblox? Well, August 3rd, 2012, John Shedletsky posted a blog post saying, "Bye-bye, bytecode." And so, a screenshot of a bunch of like binary code, whatever the heck, and it says, if you are developing a scripting language, it turns out that allowing clients to load and execute arbitrary bytecode is a really bad idea. Lua, the embedded scripting language that Roblox uses, unfortunately allows this by default. After some deliberation, we decided to remove this capability from Roblox Lua. So for example, if you have the very basic script print hello world, which will make the output in your game, if you're a scripter, say hello world, the most easy default script ever, this is what it looks like in bytecode, which you can see it's a lot more complex and it's made for computers to read it internally. Now, they do say that removing bytecode breaks a very few amount of games by the most advanced scripters on Roblox. And they're going to say why they broke it. Now, here's an article from 2008 about all the things wrong with bytecode in Lua, but that's too complex. I don't know what's... So, if you know what you're doing, you can craft a privilege elevation attack using bytecode, which means you could have more powers that you weren't supposed to have in the first place. You can do things on Roblox that only admins should be able to do with the use of bytecode. So let me go ahead and explain this in other words, okay? One of the functions of bytecode is called HTTP GET. Now, if you don't know what HTTP is, if you go to a website, say roblox.com, in the link, it'll say HTTP or HTTPS, and all that means is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. I think that's what it stands for. Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong. But basically, it's what builds up the internet. Every website has this, and getting an HTTP is basically getting a web page. Now, imagine you're running a script, and you run a billion of these HTTP gets with the bytecode. Well, you're basically sending a bunch of requests to Roblox servers to load a billion web pages. And if you've ever opened up 1,000 Chrome tabs at once because it was being slow and your computer freaked out on you, you know that this isn't a good idea. Now let's multiply this by a billion and load it onto Roblox's servers. Essentially, you would be DDoSing Roblox's servers. Now, what is a DDoS for those of you that don't know? Well, if you're playing Minecraft and you make a kid angry, he might say, "I'm gonna DDoS you!" And all a DDoS is a distributed denial of service. It's to try to mess up someone's router, or in even a grander case, messing up the servers, in this case being Roblox's servers. And what it just means is that you overwhelm the server or the router or whatever, so it crashes and stops working because it's just taking in too much. Like, for example, think about if you get some cookies, right? The first cookie, you might enjoy it a lot, like it's a delectable treat. But by the 500th cookie, not only will you be really full, you might be puking everywhere, you might be on the floor passed out. That's the thing. It can only handle so much requests until the servers explode. I hope I'm explaining this in a way that makes sense, because this is a pretty complex subject matter, but I'm trying to make sure you guys understand this. It floods traffic to the website, so it becomes slower or goes down. Think about a door to a shop. If a bunch of people are trying to enter the store all at once, there's only so much room in the doors for people to walk through. If there's 1,000,000 people trying to go through one door, that door's going to get clogged up and nobody can go in anymore. It'll just crash, okay? So I hope this made sense. Bytecode. It was once a feature on Roblox used in some games like Wingman 8's Galleons, which was a game that was popular back then. So this right here, Galleons, is by Wingman 8. It was a very popular game back in 2010, 2011, and it used some of this bytecode to protect its code from people who could possibly steal it. And so, with all that being said though, it was broken at the time, but since it's updated in 2020, I'm sure it works now. Wingman 8 overall is a legendary scripter, and I've talked about him a few times before. So shout out to Wingman 8. So yes, that is the story of bytecode. Why it was here, why it was removed, its effects, and some of the mysteries surrounding it. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Make sure you smash that like button, follow me on Instagram at Fave here, follow me on Twitter at Roblox Fave, join my groups on Roblox, the Roblox Fave Fan Club and Fave's Cave. And yeah, I hope my voice gets better. I also broke my toe. I did a lot of things over the weekend that I'm not going to repeat on video, but it's pretty wild. So, yeah. Discord server, discord.gg/Fave. And it's your boy Fave, and I am out.